welcome to our 2024 fall broadcast. We're your host. I'm Ranger Allie.
I'm Ranger Carl.
And this is Ember Heishman from our Shenandoah National Park Trust, which is a partner with us. And we're going to introduce her toward the end of the segment. And she's going to tell us a little bit about our partnership and about an event that's happening at the end of this month. So welcome, Ember.
Thank you.
So if you've been with us before, you'll know that we do these fall broadcasts weekly. So it's every Thursday at noon on Facebook and YouTube. And we invite you to drop any of your questions that you have about the fall in the comment section. You can also just say, hey, because we really like those too. So these will also be posted on our website after the broadcast, so you can find them there as well. Other things that you can find on our website are going to be our fall color reports. So we have so many ways that we want our visitors to keep up with our fall updates. And so we are going to post photos from the park each week on our Flickr site, and you can find that link on our social media post and on the website. And we're also going to share the webcams, which are actually shared year-round, which is really cool. And we also have a chronologue site, which is a citizen science project. So those are located at Pass Mountain and Big Run Overlook. And both of those links can be found on our website as well. The two webcams that you'll see are going to be a live one from Big Meadows, which is where we are right now. We're actually sitting right in front of the visitor center, and you can see the meadow behind us. And then the other one is down at our other partner, which is the Shenandoah National Park Association. And that is called the View from the Valley webcam. So you get a nice panoramic view of the mountain from the Shenandoah Valley.
So as far as our fall updates, as Ranger Alyssa just said, of course, we're out here on a breezy day just outside of Big Meadows Visitor Center. Acorns are falling all around us. And behind us in the background, you see that fall foliage of the meadow especially is alive and well. We're seeing beautiful deep crimsons of the changing low bush blueberry shrub. We're seeing browns and tans of the dying off grasses for the season. But my favorite this time of year is the bright and vibrant yellow goldenrod, which is fully in bloom right now. As for the rest of the park, we're not seeing as many changes this early on. It's still mostly lush green along the drive, but we're starting to get some of those earlier crimsons blushing like the Virginia creeper up the tree. So we're starting to see some of those early ones. Fingers crossed that we'll get some more in the coming weeks.
And we're experiencing this perfect fall weather this early in the season. It's those great days for fall color, which are the cooler mornings, warm days, cool evenings without having a frost. So this is great.
One of those days you want
crossed.
a windbreaker in the morning and the evening, but in the middle of the day you're still sweating on a hike.
Yeah,
which
so
I
we're
love.
so we're still going to push those layers for everybody to bring. So other housekeeping things that we want to go over. If you enter the park and you receive one of our fall newspapers, which is so great, we actually brought these back into print this year. It's something that we used to do in the past, and they're so great because they have a naturalist calendar on the back that cover all of the fall months. You have visitor services for Delaware North concessions, special events that are going on in the park, and we have ranger programs, which are found in the centerfold. Unfortunately, there is a minor misprint in our program schedule that will be corrected after Monday of next week. But just be aware that if you do receive a fall newspaper, there are two programs that are incorrect in the newspaper. And so that will be Lewis Mountain, which should be Fridays at 6:30, and Loft Mountain evening program, which are going to be Saturdays at 7:30. If you have any additional questions about those, you can always contact anyone at the visitor centers. There's also signage posted at both of those evening program locations.
Now, again, as she was saying, in the newspaper you'll find a selection of special events throughout the summer and into the fall. And upcoming this month, and one of the great reasons why we have Ember here with us, is we have a couple different special events going on. So we're going to be talking more to Ember here shortly about one big event called Art in the Park. But coinciding with that is going to be a fee-free day, and that's going to be for National Public Lands Day, which is a celebration and kind of memoriam of the Civilian Conservation Corps and the history that we have here in Shenandoah. And that's going to be on September 28th, Saturday the 28th.
All right, well, we do want to introduce an activity that we want to do during your interview. I don't know if you all are familiar with these videos that we were inspired by of friends and family drawing portraits of each other and then revealing them at the end. And so what we've decided is that we're going to do that. Because we're all friends here.
I can't wait.
And there's unconditional love. So we're going to try this out.
Unconditional love now. We'll see the photos.
Yeah, that's true. Afterward, we don't
afterwards.
know. So I believe I am going to draw Ember doing her favorite fall activity in the park. There's those acorns. Carl is going to draw me doing my favorite activity, and then Ember is drawing Carl. So my favorite activity to do in the fall is to watch the sunset from Jewel Hollow Overlook.
Jewel Hollow? Okay.
Yes. Okay. What is yours, Ember?
My favorite activity is definitely hiking, especially peaks. I like rocky peaks.
Okay.
I had a hard time narrowing down. I think I'm going to go with a newfound love of what to do in the park, rock climbing out at Little Stony Man Cliffs.
All right. Here we go. This is going to be a true test.
And feel free to steal colors from me whenever you want.
Yeah.
Take the brown.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the trust first, the Shenandoah National Park Trust. So tell us a little bit about that partnership, and then we can talk about the event.
So the Shenandoah National Park Trust is we're the official philanthropic partner of Shenandoah National Park. We are solely a fundraising organization, and we host a lot of events throughout the year. And our mission is to invest in, provide funding for strategic investments that help protect and preserve the resources of Shenandoah National Park for everyone to enjoy for this and future generations. A lot of it's focused on the future. But a lot of our events are very much for the present and the people that want to enjoy it now.
So this is the second annual Art in the Park event.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit what inspired that, and then give us the rundown, the what, when, where, why,
All the deeds.
how.
All the deeds.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was actually the brainchild of the former superintendent, Pat Kenny. He brought it to us. He wanted to do programming over Public Lands Day. And artists have always had such a key role in national parks in like bringing landscapes to the public. We have this on our website. We talk about it all the time. That in the 1800s, the Hudson River School painters went out west and painted these incredible landscapes like Yosemite and all those big western parks you think about. And a lot of things people had never seen because travel wasn't as big at the time. And so they brought these paintings back and showed Congress and showed the public what national parks were, or what they could be. And it got this conversation going of how important public lands were and protecting landscapes that looked like this and that kind of beauty and inspiration. And so artists have always been part of parks, and we do the Artist in Residence program with you guys, and we love bringing artists in. And so we thought that would be a fantastic event for a fee-free day about public lands. And so we provide a bunch of free programming, a bunch of workshops. Local artists come in, or artists in residence like to come back. We have a couple of them returning this year to lead free workshops for the public so that everyone can kind of have that experience that those historic artists brought to the public and kind of convey the significance of public lands.
Yeah. So you can find the schedule for the event online too. So it's a 3-day event, correct?
Yes, yeah. So it's Friday through Sunday, September 27th through the 29th. So it's over Public Lands Day on Saturday. And we can talk about when the workshops are. We're going to start at 1 o'clock on Friday. I think we have 3 or 4 Friday, split between Big Meadows and Skyland. Lots of photography, painting, drawing, sketching. And then we'll come back Saturday for 9 to 5 all day.
Very cool.
We also have a sip and paint. This is our first time doing that. We didn't do that last year. We're going to do a sip and paint at Skyland, right on the terrace overlooking the valley. Yeah, we have somebody from Picasso's Swig in Charlottesville coming in to teach that. So that one's ticketed. So you have to buy tickets for that. But everything else, Friday's free, Saturday's all free, and Sunday's all free. So, yeah.
Well, I love that you brought in the historic artists, because that story is such an important and kind of overlooked one of national Park Service history. You're absolutely right. Ansel Adams, everybody knows his photography of Tetons. And you have Thomas Moran, who really kind of brought Yellowstone up to the forefront. So that's a great kind of tie-in to what the Trust is doing with Martin Park. So, as Alyssa mentioned, this is the second annual. So last year was the first. And what was kind of, I know you kind of touched on the brainchild of why you guys decided to do that, but also curious, the successes of that. Why did you decide to bring it back as a recurring thing?
Well, you guys were around last year. You know that we had a hurricane that weekend.
I remember fondly.
Yeah, so we had all these big plans for exploring the outdoors, but we ended up moving everything inside except for maybe the very first workshop.
Right.
But even with that, we had almost 500 people come out and
there was
do
a
things
lot of
inside.
interest.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
remember.
rangers, a lot of staff showed up, and we got great feedback.
Yeah, and we loved it. Everybody loved it, even though it went nothing like we planned.
As good plans always.
Yeah, and honestly, shout out to you guys and to Delaware North and everyone that helped us move everything inside at the last minute. But because it was so successful and it wasn't at all what we planned, and everybody, it meant so much to them to have that something to do when it was raining. It's like you want to go on hikes and you want to explore the meadow, but when you're in a hurricane,
your options are kind of limited.
So it was this really cool way to experience the park in a way that people didn't really have planned for the day, or that it was just different.
Yeah.
And all that energy, we have to do this again.
Yeah.
So we're growing it this year and doing a lot of the same stuff, keeping with what went well and just kind of adding to it.
Very
So, yeah.
Awesome. We're so excited.
Yeah.
So, what are some tips that you can offer to visitors who are planning to come for the event?
Oh boy. Well, all the supplies will be provided, so you don't have to have any experience, you don't have to have any art supplies, you can just show up. And the artist will give you what you need and then instruct you how to use it. But you still do need to come prepared for being in a national park. So anything you'd come with for a day of hiking or enjoying the park, bring all that with you. Good shoes, layers, like we were talking about, how it's cold in the morning and the evening. Bring rain gear just in case that happens again.
It seems that every event that you guys have in the park, it always rains.
Every time.
Every time.
But that was a last year thing. We've had a couple this year where it
Yeah,
hasn't rained.
We've had some success, for sure.
Yeah. But definitely come prepared for all the elements, and we're going to try and do as much outside as we can.
Yeah.
But we do have a rain plan this year.
Good. What is your favorite, or what are you most looking forward to? What might be your favorite workshop? Oh my gosh. Every time it wins, we take a risk.
Well, I mean, I'm really excited to see what our artist in residence does, because this will be right at the end of her residency. So I think Susan came into the park this week.
Mm-hmm.
So she has the whole month to get to know Shenandoah really well and then share it with us. So I am so excited to see what she comes up with in the next 3 weeks to then introduce the public to. That's kind of the insider. Yeah. But I mean, every single workshop looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's great that you guys have such a variety of, what kind of demonstrations or activities there are. I know there's some guided hikes, things of that nature.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome. With that, I mean, there's so much that's going to be here for visitors to partake in. There's a lot of different mediums, the paintings, the drawings, the guided art walks, the kind of meditations, things, just spanning the spectrum of what is art. How do you feel those different...
Don't look at it! I need to go to a workshop because I can't draw.
It's beautiful. Couldn't have done it better myself. But how do you feel these different arts, these different programs, these different mediums especially are going to work to connect the visitors in attendance to Shenandoah?
So I think almost every workshop is visual art.
Okay.
And so it's painting, sketching, some of it's writing, but a lot of it is taking what you see and kind of trying to capture it, whether through a camera or on paper. And so I think those mediums work really well for helping you just see things better. Mm-hmm. Trying to draw each other, I'm looking at your face and I'm trying to find angles that I would never have noticed if if I weren't trying to draw you.
I'm glad I combed my hair today.
But like things like that where you don't really know what you're perceiving until you like try to imitate it.
Sure.
And I think there's something really powerful in trying to capture an image. And even just like composing a photograph, figuring out where the lines go, and you wouldn't see those lines if you weren't looking for them.
Yeah.
And so I think art really helps us look at places and things. And when you look at something long enough, it gains value. I guess you look at a flower and you might have walked right past it, but when you're looking for something to draw, that flower matters to you now. And I think that the big connection point is when you see something and it becomes valuable to you, like it's hard not to want to take care of it, you know? And so like public lands, that's the whole point, right? Making a connection with public lands.
Well, and the thing is that art is one of the most accessible things you can do.
Yes.
You don't have to go out into the wilderness to, you know, park at an overlook on the drive, come to the visitor center, sit in the meadow, and take it in, whether, again, behind the lens of a camera or drawing, and all ages, all experiences.
Yep.
You know, it's one of my favorite ways to get out and experience the park, and it never looks good, but it definitely kind of ties into, the experience. I love that.
Yeah. And it all just matters so much more when you're looking at it and for it, you know? Something really special about that. Thinking. Oh no.
Because now I'm looking at you and I'm like, I'm not going to do this justice. This is not
I feel flattered.
okay.
Thank you. I'm drawing a very zoomed out version, so I don't have to worry about details.
Oh gosh. I think that's what I enjoy about art is that it can be subjective. So like, not what might be beautiful to me might be not as beautiful to someone else, but as long as, like you were saying, as long as you care about it, as long as it brings value to you, then it is art.
Yeah.
And that is very much how I'm going to present that.
Meanwhile, I really like details, so I'm just trying to capture what things would look like. And it's much less impressionism, because impressionism is hard for me.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Ember,
Art
you
seems
might be a
interpretive.
stick figure. It's gonna make sense. I'm much stronger with the written word. This is okay. Are you guys ready to present, or do we need more time? Because I think I'm ready. I really couldn't do much better than I am right now.
Mine ain't getting any worse.
mine could get worse.
Oh, Ember's, yours looks so good. Okay, Tom, do we need to move closer to the camera to reveal our artwork? Okay. I'll let Carl go first.
I thought he was the artist.
I-
Why are we letting him go first?
I spent a lot of time doing the background and realized, oh right, Alyssa has to be in this. So here you are, Allie, with your dog
POV.
bow. Yeah, nice and zoomed out, so it doesn't need detail. There's just the
I love
silhouette,
a silhouette.
of Alyssa and Bo,
My blue tick coonhound, who I'm
Taking
obsessed
in
with.
a nice Virginia sunset.
There you go.
Oh
Go
gosh.
ahead.
So earlier we were talking, and Ember told me that one of her favorite hikes is to Black Rock Summit because that's where she got engaged. So I didn't draw your husband in here, but you were enjoying a nice hike to Black Rock. And you can see all of these talus slopes
I like that river of rocks.
It's very apparent here with the forest going, the trail and the forest that lines it up to the summit with this beautiful blue sky for your view.
And they had me talking the whole time.
I know.
So. Mine's pretty basic, but Carl said he liked rock climbing.
Hey, you have me safe. That's what matters.
It looks really
That's
good.
beautiful.
There's Carl.
Less is
Rock
more.
climbing. And he's given his signature thumbs up that you get in all the good Carl videos. And he's got his ranger hat on because he follows a good protocol.
Safety first, in case an acorn falls.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ember, for taking part in this very valuable exercise.
We promise the artists that are coming to teach workshops are so much better at this.
Professionals. But we really hope to see you guys at the Art in the Park event, which will be September 27th through the 29th. We'll hope to see you there. And we're going to see you again next Thursday at have any questions that you want to put in the comment section for Carl and I to answer,